Don't distract me. Here we go. An umpire and a vampire square off week after week, reviewing movies outside their own strike zone. This week's movies, the 1932 Marx Brothers movie Horse Feathers, and the 1959 horror classic House on Haunted Hill. Starring Vincent Price, Groucho Marx, Carol Omart, Thelma Todd, Zeppo Chico Marx, and Richard Long. Now two guys who intend on living forever or die trying. Tim Kretschmann and Jeff Miller.
I don't have to. I'm a vampire. I'm going to be around forever.
Why did I use that quote?
Don't know.
That's Groucho Marx' most famous. That's what the quote he's known for. According to Wikipedia.
That's one of like a million quotes. The guy's got a lot of quotes.
According to IMDb, it says the quote he's known for.
Okay, in my opinion, his most famous quote is he wrote a letter to a country club that he was attempting to get into.
Yep.
And when they accepted him,
yep,
he wrote a letter back and stated, I don't want to be a member of any club that would allow me to be a member. I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty well the line.
No, I get it.
And it's got to be like in his top 10.
Well, that was
my favorite is from Duck Soup, where he goes up to Margaret Dumas and he says, why don't you put your teeth in backwards and bite yourself to death?
That's pretty clever.
That's good stuff. Hey, everybody. You're watching Dead on the Bases, you lucky little people.
Swobet's in
the
the house.
Swobet's in the house. I got to press buttons.
Hey, you two.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you know what?
I didn't hit the right button. Why did you make me do that?
Wait.
No, talk. There we go.
Why is it
There's
doing
it?
Hey, wait, I'm trying to type. Wait. Now, she said, hey, you too. Watch this.
Do I have to watch this?
Jeff with two F's. Wait, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay.
Jeff
Wild
and Tim. Wait.
There's
not
people that listen to the show. There ain't a whole lot that watch.
Bono,
but we do have people listen. And
Flea.
Oh my God. Is Jeff and Tim? What the heck is wrong?
Because maybe she thought she was talking to you too. Bono.
Oh my God. All right. So.
But wait. One more thing.
Jeff.
One more thing. Bono has actually got the same birthday as I do.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe she has us mixed up.
Hey, didn't we just have that? Because it was on my calendar. It said April Fool's Day.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. He's Jeff Miller. We call him the Ump. Jeff has the distinction of winning the Milwaukee Sports Media Personality of the Year award a record 5 times by being confused by another broadcaster.
Wow.
That's a true story.
If I wasn't confused, I probably would have 10 years
on today's show, I am a horror movie fan.
Yep.
And he forces me to watch sports movies, which just about kills me.
Yep.
And then Jeff gets the awesome excitement to get to watch a wonderful and heartwarming horror film.
Yes, that's true. But you know what, though? It's true, though. So
it's true, right.
But I spelled your name wrong.
Tonight, the movies that we have. Okay, just enjoy the chat room later, buddy. All right, tonight, the movie that I assigned Jeff is House on Haunted Hill, our first Vincent Price film to put on the show.
So there'll be other ones.
Oh, there's other Vincent Price films. Don't you worry.
Okay.
And Jeff, what did you assign me?
I assigned you the Marx Brothers Horse Feathers. It has to do with
horses.
Football.
It's got nothing. Well, there is a horse in there.
There is. Yeah. When he wants to see us, when he says, "Hey, I haven't seen my son in a while."
Would you please rise?
So it's, you know what? Horse Feathers is a sports movie, and Tim got it, and that's what I got to say.
All right. Well, if that's all you have to say, it'll be a short show. But
no, I got more.
I have a feeling you have more to say. All right. Do you want to get right to it?
To it and do it.
All right.
Should we talk about
what?
We'll talk about later about my mayoral race.
Your mayor. Actually, I have a visual aid for everybody.
Should we do the
Should
show
I tell
first?
them? Well, no, I'm going to tell them something because
I'm running for
your
mayor.
election, yeah, but you didn't do too well on Tuesday.
I didn't
In
vote
fact,
this year.
I wrote in Jeff
You did not.
for the Mosquito
did
Norway
not.
School District.
You did not.
I actually did.
You did
And
not.
it showed up. If you look down below there he is, Jeff Miller. Now, what's weird is, take a look. Other people wrote you in. You have 15 votes, Jeff.
What are those different districts?
Yeah, those are different
You
districts.
are so full of it.
The total is 15. I knew you were going to say this. So
Holy cow!
I grabbed the PDF.
Yes.
I have the PDF. I'm showing you that
Tim.
here. Take a look. This is the original PDF.
Yeah.
Mosquito Norway School District.
Yeah.
And I wrote you in for school district because I thought it'd be funny. And there's your name, Jeff Miller. And look at that.
It's legit.
It's real.
It's legit.
I think you were campaigning more than I thought. Does that mean now? Are you going to need the lawn sign back? Are you going to need a lawn sign?
I'm in all right now. Yeah. The one lawn sign that I made up. You bet.
Yeah. All right. Well, it says Oktoberfest for Lions Club on the other side. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You never returned it. I'm in trouble if the Lions Club ever catches me with this thing.
Wait till.
All right.
You know what?
What?
That is when I'm gonna
That's when
announce
you're
my
gonna
election
announce.
at Oktoberfest. You
Your
bet.
candidacy will be
You bet.
announced.
And I have so many. Can I just tell about one thing real quick?
Yes.
This is the first line of duty that I'm going to do. First line of whatever I'm going to do.
Your first line of duty. This
Yes.
is getting better and better.
So
Okay.
there is a street. It's called Hartke Drive.
Hartke
Are you
Drive.
familiar with that?
Yes, I can't recall
Okay.
where it is
so
exactly.
it's probably named after somebody that was like
Named
a founder
Hartke.
of
Probably
Mosquito.
it was
Yeah.
named after the guy named Hartke.
But you know where Hartke Drive goes? It goes right up to Idle Isle. And that's where you are. That should be
okay,
Idle
that
Isle
one.
We're
No.
changing the name. It's going to be
No.
called Idle Isle Drive.
No.
That's my first order of business when I'm elected mayor of Mosquito.
Poor Hartke. Poor Hartke.
You know what? I'll give him some dead end somewhere. But no, that street should be. So let's just say you're coming from out of town. And you're like, I gotta go to Idle Isle. I have to go to Idle Isle, and you're looking for all these streets. You're looking for Hartke Drive. That makes no sense. It's Idle Isle Drive, and that's what it'll be when I become mayor of Mosquito.
I think I'm going to launch an anti-Jeff
What?
campaign.
You don't even know Hartke.
That's
Who cares?
That's a horrible idea.
Should I name it Crutchman Drive? Crutchman Drive?
That would be a great name.
All right.
That
If I
would
get your
be.
votes, yours and your brother's votes.
Well, we'll see. You'll have to do a lot more buying than just that.
Uh-oh.
All right, Jeff,
All right.
tell us about your movie. And remember, you
Yep.
can send Jeff emails at jeff@otherworldlyculture.com. We all know you're
I'm
slow.
so slow. Oh!
Oh, let's make lots of noise and throw them
Quackers!
in. What the hell is going on tonight?
This was on my Jeep the other day. Quack.
That's huge.
I know.
Why did they put
That's
that
what
on
she
your
said.
Jeep?
I don't know.
That's what she...
No, but look, this
My
is
God.
because Jeeps have ducks. They get ducks, and this is the duck
Why?
This is the duck I got. Quackers! Look at how big Quackers! Look at my hand. Look at Quackers! Look at my head. Look at Quackers. Rack, 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 rack. They can't hear it with rack, rack, rack. All right.
Yes, it helped when you put
Oh,
crackers up
did you
to
see
the
my
mic.
lips move? Wait, let me try it again. I'm just kidding.
No, nobody is looking at your lips. All right. So, Jeff, tell us about House on Haunted Hill.
All right, so House on Haunted Hill is just barely over an hour. It's an hour and 15 minutes, 1959.
Yep.
Now, before I get into it, what I'm gonna let the viewers know or listeners know, if you've never seen this movie, but you've seen the Twilight Zone, this is just a longer version of a Twilight Zone to me. This is what it felt like. It felt like I was watching an hour and 15 minute.
Our foremost authority on the Twilight Zone is now speaking, everyone.
I'm just saying, it felt. If a movie had feelings, it felt like a Twilight Zone, a longer version of Twilight Zone. Okay, but what's going on here is Vincent Price is the main character here. He's the main dude.
Yeah.
But I was confused a little bit. I'll have to say I was a little confused.
Whoa.
I was a little confused, and if you can help me with this,
You were a little confused.
if you can help me with this confusion, I can
Okay.
go on with my review.
All right.
So the one guy that was in there,
Yeah.
the one guy that was going to stay overnight, and you know who it is. It's not going to be the pilot. It's not the psychiatrist. It's not Vincent Price. It's the other guy, the guy who said that he owned the house, or
The
he
crazy guy?
Yes. Could you explain to me how
he owned the house
Okay, he owned it,
at one point,
right?
and that's all you really need to know. I think
Okay.
it was his brother or something got killed there.
So what I want to know then, does Vincent Price own the house now?
No, he's renting it for the night from
From-
those caretakers. Probably from this dude.
Okay, all right.
I think
So that's
it's from the dude that he rented it. That's why he's there.
okay. So there you go. So anyways,
Yeah.
so
It's a rental property
it's like an Airbnb.
for a party.
Is it like an Airbnb?
He basically rented it for a party. Well, they didn't have Airbnb back then.
I'm saying this
They
could be a
didn't even have
precursor.
www.
But this could be a
They
precursor.
didn't have websites.
Do you know that you don't even have to say www anymore? You can just say the name.com.
I can? Okay.
Yeah, you can say Jeff Miller for
I'm learning
MosquitoMayor.com.
stuff. I'm learning stuff.
Okay, so back to House on Haunted Hill. So no, Vincent Price
This
has
is Jeff during the
no,
movie.
not even one bit. Well, no, there was two good.
Wow!
Okay, yeah. There was two really good scenes in there.
There is.
But I have
one of my favorite jump scenes of all time.
really.
Yeah.
Well, that must have been the one that made me jump. But here's the thing. But listen,
You
hold
might
on.
as well jump.
Yeah, Van
Jump.
Halen, 1984.
Yes.
Okay, so now listen to me. Hold on. So
Hold on a second.
hold on.
Hold
so
on.
I have some problems with this movie, but I also have
No.
I have some good stuff too.
Okay.
So Vincent Price, let's get back to the storyline.
Let's
Vincent
get back
Price
to
is
it.
throwing a party for his wife, all right?
Right.
But it's weird because he's accusing his wife of going to kill him, and she's accusing him of going to kill you.
This is not a happy marriage.
No, this is like War of the Roses. This
Yeah.
is not a happy marriage. And I'm like,
No.
this is like his third or fifth wife or something. And I'm like,
I think it was fifth.
okay, fifth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is really, my wife and I are watching this, and I'm like, this is really weird because they freaking hate each other. But he's having this party for her. So he invites these people to come to this party,
Right,
okay?
right.
Basically, what he needs is witnesses. In a way.
Yeah.
And he's going to give them each $10,000
Yep.
if they spend the night in this haunted. I'm gonna wait. So
Spend
can you
the
see this
night yes.
haunted house?
You
All right.
can see the same thing they see. That's the camera right there.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, but anyways, and now I know we have Easter, and these could be Easter bunnies, but this is just quotes tonight. All right. So, anyways, so back to the show.
Okay.
So
The show is out of control.
no. So you might be saying to yourself, but Jeff,
You
fill
might
us
be
in.
saying to yourself, what is this wonderful place?
So they're going to this haunted
You
mansion.
might ask yourself,
They're going to this haunted
is
mansion.
this my lovely family?
I don't even know what you're saying.
I
Oh,
don't
that's
know.
an opening to a movie or a TV show. What is it? Tell me.
It's a song, and I forget. the
Tell
name.
me. Oh, I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Way gone by. Talking Heads.
Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah.
we
Yes,
all
it-
live in a yellow submarine, right? Yellow submarine.
Yes, that was
Yep.
the backing side
All
of
right.
that song.
That's the
Right.
B side. Okay, so
Right,
back to this.
yeah.
So now he has this party for his wife, and they hate each other or they dislike each other or whatever. She likes to brush her
Oh,
hair.
I think they hate each other.
Yeah, but why are they still together? I don't get it. So he invites these people.
Because he doesn't want to pay the alimony on her.
Well, why did he get married to her then?
Did you look at her?
I wasn't.
I know why he.
I wasn't
married
that
her.
impressed with her.
I know why he
I was
married
just
her.
okay.
And let me tell you, it wasn't for the dress she was wearing. It was how she filled it out.
Okay, but So, anyways, back to the show.
Yes.
So
Back to the show and Jeff
He-
explaining this is a Twilight.
he
Zone.
invites all these people over, and
Yes.
it's. I'll tell you what, that opening scene where they're all driving in, that was boring as hell. I hated
Oh my
that.
God! Yes.
I hated that.
It takes 3 hours for them to drive up that driveway.
I didn't like that. I didn't like.
You know what it reminds me of though? Have you ever seen the movie Murder by Death?
No.
Oh, someday we got to watch that one
Okay.
together. There were a lot of gothic films like this at a time where there were these long scenes of people driving up to a house, and you would get a shot in each
Yeah.
place and they would tell you who they were. It's like the beginning of the Love Boat.
I know.
You know,
Yes.
or Fantasy
Yeah,
Island.
yeah. Fantasy Island,
this one is here because, you know, like they tell you the one young lady that, oh, she works for me and she's the most needy of money. It's like, oh, good. I was hoping all the exposition would be done right there at the beginning of the movie, and sure enough.
No, I didn't like. But here, explain this to me.
Okay.
So they show the house like a haunted old house, but every time in the movie,
it doesn't look anything like the picture. On the poster.
Thank you. Yes, and I was disappointed. That disappointed me.
Now, do you know?
Yes.
The background of that?
I know a little bit of it.
You probably looked it up.
I did.
Do you know who the architect is? Tell the audience. See,
FLW, Frank Lloyd Wright.
Frank Lloyd Wright went all the way out to California and built another house with a leaky roof.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so
every building
is that
he
true?
makes,
is that true?
Everyone I've ever, because we live in Wisconsin.
We do. This is coming from Wisconsin.
There are a ton of Frank Lloyd Wright buildings in this area. Every time I go on one of these field trips and go to one, they're like, yeah, the roof leaks. And I'm like, yeah, he was a great artist. He just couldn't build a house.
Did you go to the one in Spring Green?
Yes, I've been to that one many times. House on the Rock.
Yeah.
Or no, that isn't his. Taliesin.
Yeah.
House on the Rock was a different thing. By the Johnson Wax building, that had a leaky roof. There's one real close.
What about that
Johnson
grade school that's
Wax
up on like Cleveland Avenue or something? Like, there's a grade school that he created. Yeah, it's called Frank Lloyd Wright School.
Okay. Well, it's been there a long time. I hear it was made old school.
Okay.
Get back to the movie.
Well, okay then. Anyway,
I don't know why you always go off on these tangents, Jeff.
So what's going on here is that the crazy dude, let me look at his name. The crazy guy,
Elisha Cook
Jr.
Watson. Pritchard. They kept calling him Pritchard.
They call him, and they wanted to just call him Prick, but they said Pritchard. So anyways, so Pritchard he's spinning these tales of murders and all that, getting people scared, and it's weird because
it needs more murder.
Because Nora, excuse me, Nora. Damn.
Nora, which you hear that name and you're like, oh, that must be some old crone. She's the hot chick in the movie. Is named Nora.
Nora would be the Pamela Anderson of the movie.
Oh, she's not Pamela Anderson.
No, but that's who she would have been, though.
Right.
But anyways, so they go looking around this place, and then this is another thing. This is another red flag. This is another Jeff did not bode well.
There's your red flag.
Yes. Thank you. So when they were down in the basement, in the cellar, whatever, and I'm going to take a look because I want to make sure I've got this correct, and Leona Anderson, Mrs. Slides, what a name. Yeah. She's one of the caretakers. She sees her and she thinks it's a ghost. Right? Right.
She does.
And doesn't Mrs. Slides, doesn't she like hover across the floor?
Or slides across the floor? Yes.
So how did she do that if she was a real person?
Who the hell knows?
Okay, that was a big.
It doesn't make any
sense. That's a giant hole in this movie.
Yeah, but it's also the scariest scene.
It was kind of scary.
It's a great scene because
it's a great scene.
Basically, they're like, look over here, bam, right in the face.
But I get that. But I didn't like the fact that she was a real woman. I would like it better if she was really a ghost.
As I always say, needs more murder.
Right. And then Ruth Bridges.
There are a lot of things, though, throughout the movie. Like, they were just showing somebody's hand.
Yes.
Kind of grabbing. Who is that?
Right.
That doesn't get explained.
It doesn't.
But it was scary.
It was. And I can't remember where that scare scene was, but there was two of them that made me jump in there pretty bad.
Yeah.
Which
was Tango there to protect you?
Tango was actually there. He's kind of he was there. He was hanging out with us, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good.
So what happens is they all gotta make it through the night. But what turns out I don't wanna spoil this.
Thank you for once.
I don't want to spoil this, but I do want to say what I didn't like.
Okay.
Another thing I didn't like is I don't like hangings. And Carol Allman, the Annabelle Lawrence, Vincent Price's wife,
Yes.
is hung in here, and I don't like.
Yeah.
I never liked that image. Even
Usually it's a man that's hung.
maybe that's why she didn't like Vincent because he wasn't.
We
hung.
say hanged. By the
Well,
way.
hanged, hung, hanged.
That was the moment my brother came up with the greatest line ever, because we watched this together, and she's been lynched up above a stairwell,
Yep.
and
I like that.
two guys are grabbing the rope and trying to pull her down, which is the worst way on earth to try to pull somebody down from being hanged.
Okay.
And they're sitting there pulling at it. And my brother goes, "This kite isn't very good."
What?
This kite isn't very good, because it looked like they were messing around with a kite, but it was like a dead woman.
Oh, yeah.
It was good time.
That was good.
It was good.
That was good. But yes.
Hey, I watched the riff tracks of this movie, by the way.
What's that?
That's like Mystery Science Theater 3000, where they make funny comments as they watch a movie. Stefan's line was funnier than anything they had.
Well, thank you, Stefan.
It was horrendous. The worst riff tracks I ever saw.
So,
Yeah.
very good. But anyway, so they got to get through the night. I'm not going to spoil this because
They're
it's
offered $10,000, which that's got to be like $100,000 these days, something like that.
I could look it up.
No, don't look it up.
But let's talk
about. It takes half an hour.
Let's talk about the skeleton.
How does this work?
Whatever, I can do it right now.
No, don't.
But listen,
Stop it.
Listen, no, I'm not going to.
All right.
Well, let's talk about the skeleton.
Now listen.
Let's talk about the skeleton.
I need you to listen.
Now listen, hold on a second. Hey, yup. Listen. Hey, yup. Listen. And I'll listen, hold on a second. Wait. And I'll listen, hold on a second. Listen. Hey, yup. Listen. Now listen, hold on a second.
You know you love it.
I do.
You
Anyways,
do.
so let's talk about the skeleton. GPG. Oh. Quackers. Hello. My name
The man of 1,000 voices.
My name is Quackers, and I got a new home in Muskego.
Wow.
Anyways, so let's talk about the skeleton who played himself.
Yes,
which is
that's in the closing credits. Skeleton playing himself.
But you know what? I think they
wasn't playing with himself.
No, played by himself.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I think the reason why they had to do that because that was a real skeleton. They didn't even make that skeleton.
That was very common back then.
I know, but
because it was cheaper to get an actual skeleton than to mold one from scratch.
Really?
Yeah.
What about 3D printer?
You know, honestly, and you can't ask him. He used to be here.
But could they?
I believe that's still true because I believe the skeleton we've had here in studio is a real.
Get out of here!
Skeleton.
Get out of here!
It was a relatively short guy.
Are you serious? We were hanging out with a skeleton.
He's no longer alive, so he wasn't gonna hurt you, Jeff.
But somehow he had enough strength
this one did
to cause havoc,
push people around.
Yes, that's weird. Okay,
he
Wouldn't
walks
you just
around
push
like John Wayne.
I know.
Hey,
I'm a skeleton. Look out for me. I'm gonna come and touch you. Couldn't she have just?
You know, that could be your campaign slogan. Vote for Jeff, or I'm gonna come and touch you.
There you go. No, that's not going to be the campaign speech. I can't believe we got 15 votes. But listen, though. The skeleton, you're going to watch this, and we can talk about it.
I think people misspelled anybody else Miller.
So here's the thing, though. Hold on. Now listen.
Hold on.
Tim and I were talking about how this director or writer or whatever, he had this thing where in his movies he would this guy
the director William Castle was well known for doing publicity stunts. This was one of his earliest films.
Before you say that about this one,
didn't
he used to do things where they would give you when you would get there, here's your get out of the movie free card, like if you got out because it's so scary, you could cash something like that too, right?
There were like
different scams.
He would hire a ambulance to go around the venue because people were so scared. They needed that. He would give everybody life insurance as they entered the theater because it might scare them to death. I don't think he ever did barf bags, but he did do something where he set up like joy buzzers in people's chairs and buzzed them. And
oh my God!
The movie was called The Tingler, and that's what he put in there. And like when certain scenes would happen, they would just zap people in the seats. And what made it really cool is they were not all at the same intensity level. So
really?
Some people got it and was like, oh, well, something.
Felt good.
Other people, they practically got ejected from their seat. And most of the time it was run by, just whoever happened to be the projectionist, which is what? Young men, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as they figure out which button corresponds to the seat with the hot blonde, that one would get a lot of hits. A lot of hits. Now this one...
Let's tell them about this one, yep.
Yeah, this one they had something called a Merjo that they used. And at the key scene, which you obviously figured out
you can't miss
it was.
You cannot miss it.
They would take a skeleton, and I don't know if that one was real or not, but they would take a skeleton and it was hiding in a box in the front of the theater, and they would just run it out on a wire during this one scene, and it would zip through the theater, freaking everybody else. You know what I actually think is a better scare than that?
What?
I don't know when you were watching the movie if you were still kind of settling in at the very beginning, but at the very beginning of the movie, they have one of the women from the movie just scream, the most blood-curdling scream, and then there's a couple spooky sounds.
Yeah.
You got to keep in mind, when this movie was out in, what was it, 59?
Yep.
I think this
Yeah.
The screen would go totally dark. They didn't have, lots of exit lights and all the little lights that we have these days, just so people don't, fall over in the dark. It would be completely dark in the theater, and they played all these spooky sounds and the screaming. That was some good stuff.
That was
some good stuff.
But that was
okay.
But the thing,
I know.
But the thing of it is that
I know I'm right.
You are. But this is very, very tame compared to nowadays stuff.
Oh, every time we
tame.
do the classics, I mean, there weren't a whole lot of snuff films being made.
Oh my God, nobody watches snuff films.
Oh, you thought you did.
Which one was that?
Faces of Death. You thought that was real.
Yeah, but I didn't know what a snuff film was.
That would be Faces of Death if you believe it's real.
Well, it is real.
No, it isn't.
Okay, anyways, that was bad that they cheated me out of my money when I went to Blockbuster for that. But anyways, actually I didn't go to... did you ever go to Dr. Video in Muskego?
Dr. Video?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's where the new Jerome Drugs is.
Really?
I used to work there.
Oh, of course.
So there you go. Anyways, you ready for my score?
I am. I just have to hit the right button.
So this,
I think you kind of liked it, but you weren't thrilled by it.
Don't try to
scared.
Don't try to like slant my score here.
Go ahead. Give me the number.
So here's the thing. I pretty much told you what I thought of it when I first opened up my mouth tonight. I said that it was a glorified Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Extended version. There was 2 really good jumps in there.
Yeah.
But the rest of it was just kind of blah for me. I was kind of upset with the Mrs. Slides part. And the whole skeleton kind of like bored me. I'll still give it a solid score, 6.
Okay. I didn't expect you to give it a high score. But you do have to say Vincent Price is excellent in it. And he says the first line, the Thriller.
Yes, he does.
At one point in here.
He does.
What is it? It's close to midnight.
Yes.
It's close to midnight, he says. And that actually inspired them. And I'm going to give away one of my pieces of trivia because I got plenty of pieces of trivia.
Should we see if I get it right first or not?
This movie
All right.
actually was the first horror film that Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark, saw as a young girl, and she made it. I think it was like her last movie that she showed as a horror host. This is one of her favorite movies. This is a favorite. And honestly, I watch it and I go, it's got those two. Well, I think there's one really good scare in it, and the ending's kind of fun, but I don't think it's a great movie. But it's got Vincent Price, and Vincent Price really elevates the material quite a bit.
He does.
If Vincent Price wasn't in this movie, I don't think we're talking about it today.
No.
You know, so wow, that was great. You know what it's time for, Jeff?
What?
Me either. But I'm gonna hit this button. Oh, that's right.
My mayoral race?
No.
Okay.
What the hell is with you?
I need to make this town better.
It is time, guys. It is time for something we like to call the OWC Sports section of the show.
You bet, baby.
All right. Now, I heard there was some sort of sport doing an opening something or other.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
So, anyways, the NCAA tournament, we finished that up, and the University of Connecticut Huskies.
Who won?
University of Connecticut Huskies.
Okay.
UConn.
I never heard of
They defeated San Diego State Aztecs. So that's pretty cool. That's UConn's 5th national title.
Ooh.
On the women's side, though, we had the LSU defeating University of Iowa. So there's a little bit for you there. That's LSU's first national championship. Now we'll get to the whole opening day here in Milwaukee.
There we go.
There you go. The Brewers won it. The Brewers defeated the Mets. Well, the Mets are a terrible team. So we can't.
What? Now, come on now.
The Mets will be lucky.
They're from New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
The New Jersey
Well,
Jets?
they're the New York Mets, but they play
The
New Jersey.
New Jersey Jets.
But
yeah.
here's the thing.
See, I know.
Mark my words.
Yeah.
The Mets will win. They'll lose more games than they win.
Okay.
They will lose over 100 games
Is
this
this
year.
another one of those predictions that you make that we never check up on?
We can
because
check up
they're all
on.
wrong?
You can write down Stephen or
They're all
Trogdor can
wrong.
make sure of it. The Mets will not win more.
You gave out his real name.
The
I can't
Mets
believe
will
it.
lose over 100 games this year. The Brewers are now what? They're 5-1, and in first place in the National League Central. The Pirates are in second place, and the St. Louis Cardinals, who come to town this weekend, are 2-4. So the Brewers could could continue to divide themselves from the rest of the pack with some wins, but not likely. The St. Louis Cardinals are a really good team. They just ran into some tough games. So look for the Brewers to take 1 of 3 this weekend.
By the way, Jeff.
Yeah.
Our chat room
Yeah.
filled with the bots.
I love the bots.
Filled with the bots.
And
there have to be 85 of them in there.
And
if any of you are real people, please introduce yourself in the chat.
yeah, just like
My
Eminem.
God. Yeah.
And then the other thing is that Aaron Rodgers watch. He's still in limbo.
Watch what? Is he in darkness
We don't
again?
know where he is. He could be a Packer. He could be a Jet. He could be a San Francisco 49er pretty soon.
You know what I heard?
What?
Is when you're a Jet all your life.
I don't know if that's a reference to something.
It is. Yeah. The West Side Story.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's with Natalie Portman. No, Natalie
Portman.
No.
Correct.
No, Natalie
Wood.
Natalie Wood.
Natalie Wood.
Natalie Wood is the only Wood that
before
doesn't
she
know.
was killed by people. So yeah.
Robert Wagner, right?
Yeah. He wanted to wipe her out.
Why?
Anyway, just being an ass. This is what I do.
Oh.
I'm an
So
ass.
hey, yeah, I'm Jeff Miller. Vote for me. And that's the sports that I know.
Vote for you. Okay.
I will be the
okay,
next mayor
now,
of Muskego.
I have not tried this recently. We're gonna see if this works here.
Go Brewers.
I think this is in the wrong mode.
Why is this
I need
backwards
to
all
do
that?
this.
Milwaukee.
There we go. It's not backwards.
Well, for me it is. I think that this is over here. So then I go like this and backwards. So go to.
Jeff.
I have to go here.
Jeff,
Milwaukee.
Please. You know what it's time for?
I don't know, Tim. Thank you for giving my sports segment. Merch Man. It's not merch anymore.
Well, then we just do this.
Love March Madness.
Yay!
You've heard all about this fancy new Air Jordan, available now at Herman's. Well, that's not the only thing at Herman's.
Let's make some merch money.
The fabulous new Air Jordan shoes can improve your performance on the basketball
bedroom.
court.
Oh.
But when you're not on the basketball court,
You're in the bedroom.
how do you improve your performance everywhere else? That's right, with Dead on the Bases merch.
Make you sexy.
We can beat that $64.99
Yeah.
for only 3 simple payments of $21.66. You can get this fabulous shirt. Get your Dead on the Bases merch right now, and you can.
Open it up Muskego style.
I gotta tell you, we got one in the chat room that's so funny. We were talking about Natalie Wood earlier.
64.98.
It's the savings.
Yeah.
Savings on the install.
All right, what did he say?
He says, that's the type of wood that doesn't float.
Shit.
I know that's an old joke, but
It's
still
an
funny.
oldie but a goodie.
It's still funny. It's still funny. All right, so everybody go buy your merch for crying out loud. Otherwise, Jeff cries.
Well, no, I actually,
No,
I
you do cry.
Well, I got 3 orders this week. I'll have those out in the mail
Oh.
by tomorrow.
You're not going to have them out. You're very busy. You're not going to get those out. All right,
Campaigning.
everybody. Oh, the campaign. Okay, campaign or complain? Because I know
I
you're
don't do
better
either
at
of them.
one. All right, everybody. It is time for us to start my segment, and I'm going to tell you about my movie.
What movie is that?
Okay, my movie is Horse Feathers. I believe this is the oldest movie we've reviewed on the show.
I think so.
I think so.
Where are the things?
1930.
Where are the pictures? I want to watch the pictures.
Would you stop?
All right.
1932. How many pictures do you think? I'm shocked that there was a movie. I'm shocked there was a movie because back then, I think what they did is they
you
actually had all the pictures in a book and they just flipped them for people very quickly. Yeah, 1932. It's an old movie.
I have some issues with this.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
My god. This is my review. It's going to be sane.
Okay.
Okay? And that's how people know there's a difference. So, this is probably my favorite Marx Brothers movie.
Oh.
First of all, I prefer the Paramount 4 Marx Brothers movies to the later on 3 Marx Brother MGM films.
Okay.
And this movie it's short, fast-paced, and moves very, very quickly. I really enjoy it. I do like that there's almost no storyline whatsoever.
That's true.
In fact, the entire story is laid out in one scene where Zeppo and Groucho talk, and Zeppo says, hey, we've had a new headmaster here every year for the last 10 years because we've never won a football game. If you want to run a college, you got to win the football game. Okay, there's the story, right? They just lay it out there. And this is about of course, the historic, and we all know about this rivalry between Huxley College and Darwin. And Professor Wagstaff is there to save the day. So in this movie, there is a good amount of sexual assault, so people can enjoy that like that sort of entertainment, which, as you know, Jeff has told me many times, he really enjoys the sexual assault elements of most of the films. It does need more murder. But here are your main characters. You have Chico playing Baravelli. And Chico always plays, and it's not Chico. It looks like Chico.
I know.
But it's
That's what I was
pronounced
thinking.
Chico.
Okay.
Because he was always chasing the chicks. And I'm not making it up. That's
Really?
actually how he got his stage name. He always played a recent Italian immigrant who he was an incredible piano player. That's my one gripe in this film. You don't really get to see him play the piano as much. He does this thing where he shoots out the notes where it looks like he's going bang, bang, and he's actually hitting the notes. If you want to see really good Chico piano playing, type in Beer Barrel Polka, Chico Marx, and sit back and enjoy the ride, because it's incredible what he does. He like throws his hands down and he hits the notes perfectly. It's crazy how talented he is. In real life, Chico was always found gambling on Pinochle, and this is not far. He's kind of a gambler. He's doing moonshine. He's basically a cad. Okay. Then you have Harpo. He, as always, was mute in this film. He actually does have a voice. He really can't speak. By Harpo this time plays the dog catcher. He actually, with his wife, they adopted many children. They were kind of like the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie at the time. They just kept adopting children one after another. I think they had 8 or 9 in the end. And yes, Harpo actually did play the harp, which is what gave him his nickname.
There's a scene in here where he does that.
And they always had one scene in all of his movies.
It's incredible how he did that, yeah.
And he actually professionally trained harp players. Always wonder how the hell he got any music out of it at all, because his technique is supposedly very strange and nobody can figure it out. And he just taught himself. He just kept playing at the harp and screwing around with it. Now, as always in a college football movie, it is about crooked dealings. They're selling signals for $500, which I'm sitting there thinking in 1932, that had to be like thousands and thousands of dollars. But they're selling the signals for $500. They're kidnapping the star players of the other team.
Yep.
All this was missing was a good drug story to go in the background and be a modern sports film. There are some very surreal sequences in the film. This is the only Marx Brothers movie, I believe, where all 4 brothers perform the same song, I Love You. But it features my favorite Groucho song of all time, which is at the beginning of the movie, I'm Against It. I think you've heard me hum it from time to time. It has the best button line of all time regarding the conception of Zeppo's character from his father, played by Groucho. And they're real-life brothers, so this is weird. But he says, from the moment when I first commenced it, I said, I'm against it. And he was talking about having Zeppo. Great line. It's just a great sequence. It's funny that the whole movie is about him running a college and all he cares about is the football signals.
Yes.
Only thing he cares about. Now, a couple of things that I looked into. College football actually started in 1869. This movie, only 60 years into the history of college football, and they were already cheating like little monsters. At one scene, Groucho throws a lifesaver at somebody. Those started in 1912, so that was like a hot candy at the time. That was brand new to the market.
Did you notice how old the guys looked at the other team bought from the speakeasy? They looked like they were 40 years old.
Oh, everybody looks like they shouldn't be in college.
I know, but they did it for sure. I'm like,
I thought it was great too. You want to talk about representation? All of the professors are white guys with really long beards.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Okay, so what I find interesting in this movie, in particular, is it's in 1932, and a lot of the jokes that you see here were used in cartoons for years.
Really?
Later. What is the password to the speakeasy?
Swordfish.
Yeah,
Swordfish.
Swordfish. That is used by Bugs Bunny in multiple cartoons. The whole thing of a dog catcher running around.
Yeah, that's true.
That's in cartoons. burning the candle at both ends. The professors walking around with a graduation hat. Think about it. Groucho's wearing a graduation hat almost the entire movie, except for when he puts the helmet on that you see on the screen right now. Running over furniture. How they kept running over the furniture. Back in the old days, that was like hilarious. Oh my God, they're running on the furniture.
I was laughing.
How could you do that? Dressing up and standing on the shoulders of another person. Remember when Chico and Harpo come back in as a professor? That's an old standard in cartoons. Breaking the fourth wall, talking directly to the audience. That was, I mean, years before the whole idea of meta movies coming out. The woman paddling the lazy Groucho in the canoe. That's a standard that you see. Sawing through the floor while you're sitting on that part that's
twice.
Go. Yeah, well,
they did it twice.
He did it twice.
What the hell?
They aren't as handy as you, Jeff. They're not as handy.
First I'm like, okay.
They're more like me showing you the bidet.
Oh my God. That is...
It was a nice bubbler. Anyway.
It's got a lot of pressure, man. Holy cow.
It did. It went all the way across the wall. Anyway, then look at the garbage can that's pulled by the horses for a chariot. That's right out of Bullwinkle. That was, and for that matter, Carol Burnett's show. The football under the shirt, when they're hiding the football under the shirt like he's pregnant or something. The comedy guy going into the sports radio broadcast booth, which you can't just get into the sports broadcast position. Grabbing food from a vendor mid-play, that was great. Mistaking a finger for a hot dog.
That was something else.
That stuff, you see that so many times. My favorite line in the movie, and I wonder if this is where Bugs Bunny got "What's up, Doc?" At one point, Groucho says, "Is there a doctor in the stands?" After somebody gets injured on the grounds. "Is there a doctor in the stands? Doctor in the stands." The man comes, "Yes." He says, "How do you like the game, Doc?" And you even have a whole sequence based on football players falling on banana peels.
How did he eat all those bananas?
He had my father to help out.
But
that's the truth.
So get this though.
That's the truth.
I want to tie sports into this, where
because there were some.
But
sports.
Listen, but that part where you're
it's a little too football-y at the end.
Grabbing food from a vendor mid-play. Prince Fielder actually grabbed nachos from a fan after he went after a foul ball at Miller Park one time. He did.
Did he get arrested?
No, he was hungry.
Thief.
Hungry hippo.
Thief.
So yeah, the bananas kind of threw me off. I'm like, he went to had all those bananas, so I kind of didn't like that scene so much. And then the scoring was way off, Tim. The score, that's not how you score points in football.
You just bring as many footballs as you have.
No,
and you keep putting them
that's
down
not
there.
how it goes.
That's how it
works.
works.
But can I ask you a couple questions about this?
You may.
What's a college widow?
This is your movie. Why are you asking me?
Because I wasn't sure. What's a college widow?
A college widow?
Yeah.
Well, see, when a college and a woman love each other very, very much.
Okay, here we go. But I think a college
widow. I looked it up too. And
Did you? All right.
I'm like, what the hell is this? Apparently, it's somebody went to college and brought her along, and they passed away, so she was the widow. You know, she was. That's the best I could find.
Okay, all right.
I don't know.
But
you know what's amazing about this film?
Yeah, horror movie collections.
Horror movie connections is from 1932, right?
Yep.
1932.
32 or 39.
How many How many do you think I have on this one?
Well, they were around for a while, so I'd say there's got to be a few.
All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, first we start with
Groucho.
Groucho Marx, who is named after a grouch bag. He used to carry his lunch in a grouch bag, so he was known as Groucho, which is
like
basically
from
a
Sesame
paper
Street?
sack. A paper sack.
Oh.
That was slang for it at the time. What do you think?
1.
No horror credits. No horror credits. All right, let's look at Chico marks. What do you think?
I'm gonna say 0 then.
You are correct.
You mean to tell me the Marx Brothers didn't make a horror movie?
How about Harpo marks?
0.
You are correct. Oh, wait, hold on. What about Zeppo?
I'm gonna say 0, even though he looks like Dracula.
He was actually supposedly a pretty funny guy.
I'm surprised that I'm surprised they didn't do that though. I mean, like Abbott and Costello did horror movies. I'm surprised that the Marx Brothers didn't put together a Marx Brothers meets.
They didn't. Late in their lives, they made a movie called For All Mankind, which is considered kind of a sci-fi.
Oh, really?
Thing. Okay. But it's really just like a version of History of the World. It is one of the worst films I've ever seen.
No kidding.
And I could only watch a little tiny bit of it because I think it's one of these lost movies. I found some of it on YouTube, and I'm like, I can't watch this.
You think it was like a money grab? If it was like late in their
career? It was a prestige project for a guy that had no idea what the frick he was doing. Now, how about Thelma Todd, the college widow?
I'm gonna say, sure.
She did. She was a scream queen. In 1929, she made 2 movies that were horror films. House of Horror and 7 Footprints to Satan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bet you those were not scary at all.
Pretty hardcore.
Right.
Then we have David Landau, who, that picture isn't the best, but that's the guy that was the main guy from Darwin that was making all the payoffs and stuff. Take a look at that picture. He looks pretty scary.
He does.
What do you think?
I think he probably did.
No.
You're setting me up. I better get my act together before trivia.
You better get ready. Because the guy with the most horror credits I could find, remember this guy? He was kind of like one of the professors. He was the professor in the room where they basically lock him out of the classroom at one point.
He looks like Taft.
He's actually in some films. They're like well-known horror movies. He was in The Picture of the Dorian Gray from 1945. The Devil Doll in 1936, which is shown a lot on Svengoolie. And Mark of the Vampire in 1935. He played a character in that one called The Fat Man. Which doesn't seem very sensitive. Doesn't seem very sensitive, but I think you can all be impressed that I went through all the hassle of trying to find anything on this because
I appreciate
holy cow, that was a tough one. But it's a good movie, and I think it's time to score it.
Yeah.
So I gotta hit that button. All right, so. I'll let you guess. My brother knows what number I'm going to put, so. You're saying 8.
That would be what my number would be.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Wow.
This is a 10.
Wow.
This is the Marx Brothers' best movie. Some people debate this with me, that it's duck soup. I will listen to that debate. But this is a hilarious movie. It's aged really well. It's still funny. This thing is almost 100 years old. It's still funny. Now, yes, it's corny. That's because everybody has stole their stuff over the years. It's still funny to this day. Something you don't know, Jeff, is I've actually read the autobiography of Harpo Marx, and I'm a huge Marx Brothers fan. So this was going to get a good score. You just didn't know this was my favorite.
Here's the thing. And I can attest to this. I did laugh. I gave it a couple ha-has. But my wife really enjoyed this. I never hear her actually really laughing at movies. And she was laughing throughout this whole movie, which, again, I found that I can tell you right now, I know it's a funny movie because she's laughing the whole time.
You know what? The only movie we've had on this show that's funnier is maybe Caddyshack.
Okay.
Other than that, this is a funny film. People should check it out. A lot of people are scared when it's black and white, from the 30s. The version we found, it was on one of the streamers. Gorgeous. It looks great. They preserved this film pretty darn well. I've seen copies of this film that were terrible.
What do you mean?
Back in the 80s, there was a place called the Video Station here in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And they bought time from WVTV, and they showed all the Paramount Marx Brothers movies. And the copy of the film that they played on there was horrifically bad.
Like what? Like
it was all
quality?
scratchy.
Okay, all right.
You could barely make it out. And that's the version of the movie I grew up on because I had the VCR going. And that particular show, they showed the movie with no commercials because it was like at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I watched that videotape, I can't tell you how many times. And it's so delightful to see a good, pristine copy, which they apparently have out there on the interwebs these days.
This movie is one-liner after another. It's one right after another. And you think the cool thing
it's rapid fire.
Is that they all link up. It's not like it's out of place. It's like you would expect this after this. Now, also in this movie, the movie version that I watched, it would work perfect on TV because when they skip from scene to scene and it's that black spot, you could put commercials there. And it would flow perfectly.
And it has actually this movie doesn't get on television too much anymore.
It should.
Because they're still able to sell this thing on streaming.
Really?
People pay for this movie. Yeah, it's a great movie. But you know what it's time for, Jeff?
We're one more question.
No, okay.
One more question.
Go ahead.
Because you are so astute with the Marx Brothers.
Yeah.
Why does he have on that fake mustache, and then later on in life he has a real mustache?
That was part of the vaudeville tradition.
That was his vaudeville.
Face paint.
So that was his vaudeville thing.
Yeah, it certainly was.
All right. Well, thank you.
You know what time it is?
It's time for trivia.
It's time for trivia. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know how we play the game, this is how we play the game. Each one of us has 3 statements that we'll tell the other. One of them is a goddamn lie. The other ones are true.
Tim.
And it is up to the person getting asked the question to know what is true and what is a falsie.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Because
I'll get this right.
I know you will, because you know a lot about the Marx Brothers.
Hey, you know what? There's a lot I don't know though too. So
okay.
They're a deep subject.
You're so full of crap.
They are.
Chico
Marx loved to play croquet.
That's not on here.
Oh. Damn.
Chico loved gambling. As a matter of fact, his last public appearance was in 1960, playing cards on TV. In 1925, the movie, that was one question.
Okay.
1925, Too Many Kisses. Harpo Marx spoke his only lines he would ever speak on camera in a film. And Pauly Shore is connected to Groucho Marx simply because his aunt Dinah Shore performed with Groucho on her program.
I do love Pauly Shore questions.
I know you do. I hate Pauly Shore questions. But go ahead.
I love them.
If you need me to repeat them, I will.
Yeah. Why don't you repeat them? I'll tell you each one as we go here.
Chico loved gambling. As a matter of fact.
It's true. He loved the gambling.
But that's not the question.
I know. Was it his last
public appearance?
The year sounds about right because he passed away after that all of mankind or for all mankind, and that was about that time frame. So I'm gonna think that one's probably true. So let's go to the second one.
1925, in the movie Too Many Kisses, Harpo spoke his only lines he would ever speak on camera in a film.
You know, that one I'm gonna put a pin in. Even though I did read the autobiography, I read it when I was in the high school, so I don't remember. Yeah. Well, I hung out with people from New Berlin. I don't know for certain, but I thought it was very late in his career. I thought Well, that was on TV. I think they did a This Is Your Life where he actually spoke. But that might have been on television, and you said specifically a movie. All right, let's hear the last one again.
Pauly Shore is connected to Groucho Marx simply because his aunt Dinah Shore performed with Groucho on her program.
Yeah, I don't believe Dinah Shore's his aunt, so I'm gonna say, due to the Pauly Shore connection, I'm gonna say that's the false one. I'll believe the first two, and let me find out if I'm wrong.
Are you sure about that Harpo one?
I'm relatively sure. I'm gonna go with the Dinah Shore being a lie.
It is.
Oh yeah, which means I am correct.
So Dinah Shore is not related to Pauly Shore at all.
But
Groucho did perform with her.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
He sang Peeky Weeky or Pinky Winky or some song.
Okay.
And then the one about the Too Many Kisses, a little side note about that.
Yeah.
He did. That was the last time he ever spoke on camera in a film. It was in a silent film, so the audience saw his lips move and read the line on a title card. What he said was, Are you sure you can't move?"
All right.
And one more thing, and then the Chico one, that was his
Checo.
last Checo. That was his last public appearance. He was playing championship bridge on television, and he and his partner lost.
Yeah, he used to. He and his brother Harpo used to sell money to cops at Times Square.
What?
When they were to toast to Broadway,
What?
they would go out on Times Square and sell $5 bills to police officers for $4.
Are you serious?
They did it. They thought it was hilarious,
That is hilarious.
and that was just something Chico would do. All right, are you ready for yours?
Yeah, so I can be disappointed.
Yeah,
upset.
you can be humiliated here. Here we go. We're going to start with number one is going to be Vincent Price made many appearances on the Hollywood squares during the Peter Marshall years. Okay.
Peter Marshall, the host, then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that was the host.
Okay.
Yes. The next one is the film's tagline, "See it with someone with warm hands," was designed to encourage moviegoers to bring a date to the theater. And the last one. In 2009, magicians Penn and Teller rented out a similarly alleged haunted house to have a party with 6 people to stay the night for $10,000 a night, which was worth significantly less than it was in 1959. They played a number of tricks on the patrons, and 2 left prior to the end of the party because they didn't lock them in. And there's no record as to if they paid
Tim.
$10,000 to those guys.
Tim. All right. Yeah. So that one I heard. Go back and repeat the first two, please.
Vincent Price made many appearances on the Hollywood squares during the Peter Marshall years. That was when Paul Lynde was on there, too. And the film's tagline, "See it with someone with warm hands," was designed to encourage moviegoers to bring a date to the theater. Because, skeletons, they don't have warm hands. And the girls like to get
I'm going to be
boned.
upset with myself again. I already know this.
Yeah. Should I get
All right.
ready to press the wrong button?
No, because I'm getting this one this week. So here's how it goes. This is the way we run this down.
Oh, wait a minute.
The first one is true. He was on Hollywood Squares, and I'm not gonna worry about who the host was or Paul Lynde. I'm just gonna say that's gonna be true.
Okay.
All right. But now the Penn and Teller.
Times,
the Penn and Teller. What did you say?
I said many appearances.
You
sure it was many?
But we're not going to go that route. We decided we weren't going to be ticky-tacky like that. So here's the other thing. So the whole Penn and Teller thing, I would love to say that's true. I would love to, and I wanted to, but then you got into talking about a lot of it, and you were like getting really, really in depth. So that usually, when you put a lot of layers on the cake and a lot of frosting, it's not really true.
Okay.
But then you have the one about the warm hands. Now I'm thinking to myself, that sounds like 1959 talk. That sounds
really?
Like, yeah, like come on, think about it. The Beatles had the song "I Want to Hold Your Hand." I mean, that's just would have been the route that they would have went. Like Leave It to Beaver and all that sort of stuff. So,
We're already
but when you're
over
saying,
time.
but I know that. But when you say tagline, what does that mean? That means like,
Well, like for Jaws, it was "You'll never go back in the water again." It's a thing that goes on.
and
the
this one was
poster.
what? Say it again.
See, it was somebody. See, it was someone with warm hands.
There's not really cold hands in there. The Penn and Teller one though is interesting because they would do that. Alleged haunted house, but then 6 people had to stay the night. They played a number of
This is
tricks
all
on the
over.
patrons.
Would you like a question about Pauly Shore?
No. This is how this is going to shake out, Tim. The Penn and Teller one,
Yeah.
2009. That sounds like something they would do though.
Boy, they're all such good choices.
Nah, the first one's easy.
Okay.
So I'm going to say.
You're really gonna feel bad when that first one turns out to be a lie. That's gonna piss you off.
I'll be done. I will not
pick that. If you don't get that right, you're gonna be embarrassed. This is gonna be awesome.
I will not.
I can't wait. For
I will
you
be
to get it
retired
wrong.
from this show. I'm gonna say the one that's not true.
Yes.
The
Dun,
Penn-
dun, dun,
is it
dun.
Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller.
Yep.
You're sure?
Yes.
Do I lock that in?
Yeah, I'm locked in.
You got it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You got it.
Yes, because you got too much detail. Yes.
Too much detail.
Yes. Yes.
So if we would have
Yes.
said the other one I was playing with was William Castle's real name is Billy Turret.
I would have looked at the thing. I would have known. His name's not Billy Turret. No.
Great.
If you would have done this one,
That would've been
all
great.
you would have to do is stop at. They did it in 2009. I would have said, yeah, they would have done that. I
Yeah.
really would have.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, baby. I'm back.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Which means we better look at that scorecard and see how things are going.
Did you have a
that's this
Pauly
one?
Shore one?
I did.
Oh my.
The Pauly Shore one was Vincent Price and Pauly Shore were in the movie Casper Meets Wendy together, but they didn't share any scenes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, so I'll just let it go.
I'm not going to tell you either. Okay, so the horror movie got 6 points, right? You gave
Yep.
me 6.
Yep.
I gave you 10.
Yeah, baby.
And we both got our question
I'm
right.
still behind.
What do you mean behind? You have more points.
Oh, yeah, I'm ahead. I wasn't good in math.
Jesus Christ.
I was not good in math.
This is apparent. Holy cow. Well, congratulations, Jeff.
Thank you,
You
Tim.
pulled ahead because you finally picked a good movie.
Yeah.
And it took us, what are we, season 6?
You've liked a lot of the movies I sent
I don't know about that, but it's about time you gave me a good one.
you. Ooh.
But we got something coming up next week. Now, we might be making some changes to the schedule that
Yeah.
you see on the website.
Yeah.
We might be tightening things up. But next week, for sure, we are going to be playing the wonderful movies that you see here in front of you. So we'll start with Jeff. Why don't you tell me what you're assigning me?
You get Margot Robbie in I, Tonya, the story of Tonya Roberts.
Tonya, I don't even know ya.
Yes, this is the movie about Tonya Roberts. You know, the disgraced figure skater, the one that made...
Who has called her Tonya Roberts?
Not me. What's her name? Tonya.
Harding?
Yes! Yes, Tonya Harding.
Tanya Harding!
Yeah, all that good stuff. You know what? Tim just enjoyed the movie. By the way, Margot Robbie Roberts.
You know what? Whatever it is,
She
close enough.
She was in Wolf of Wall Street.
That's
but,
what she's best known for.
But she's
yes.
coming out in Barbie. I saw the preview for that last night. It looks like it's going to be kind of fun.
That actually, I thought they were doing the right thing, because if you tried doing a serious film about
Yeah.
Barbie, that would be the saddest thing that they could have done.
Tanya Harding, not Tonya Roberts. Sorry.
You're thinking of Tanya Roberts, who was in Charlie's Angels.
Yes.
And I had a crush on.
But this is
Yeah.
about Tanya Harding. Just enjoy it,
Yeah,
Tim.
you know what? Whatever.
Just enjoy it.
The movie I'm giving you, this is one I expect you to actually enjoy. This is a lot of fun. This is a Charles Bronson movie that a lot of people forgot was ever made.
Okay.
This was right in the middle of his like canon movie years. He had already made Death Wish at this point. He's starting to get a little bit older. And it's Charles Brosnan versus the horrible serial killer. That's the movie.
So that's why it's a horror movie, because there's a serial killer?
Yeah, it's a serial killer movie, and some of the elements you're gonna be like, that's creepy as hell. And, but I think it's a ton of fun.
Okay.
Looking
forward to it.
Our mutual friend Tracy DeLeon, she reviewed it one time on our shows. No, but she's reviewed it on our shows.
Okay, cool.
And that's what reminded me, that'd be a great one for Jeff.
Okay.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
In essence, she helped choose this one.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're gonna enjoy it. It is one of those big brassy action movies with a horror movie facade on it. So
I like it.
It's a lot of fun. I think you're going to have a great time with it. So I'm expecting a nice high score. Which is what it's all about, baby.
We'll see.
You know that.
Yep.
All right, now that's working. All right, so that means, you know what? Only 30 hours after we started the show, we're ready to end it.
It was a good show, though. It was worth
I
it.
thought we had a lot of fun on today's show. Jeff was, as usual, not very well behaved. But for the most part, it was a lot of fun to do Dead on the Bases with my buddy Jeff Miller and Quackers.
Hi, my name's Quackers. I live in Muskego now.
Oh, God. Are you ever going to give that away? Hey, get that thing away from me.
No. AK Quackers.
Oh, my God. Hey, everybody, it's time to close the crypt and call the game. Thank you all for watching, and remember to share and subscribe to our show and feed. You can find the show at otherworldlyculture.com and follow our show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and other fine places you find podcasts. So remember, everybody, and I hope you do remember, if it's sports, it's a home run. But if it's horror, run home! We're Dead on the Bases, and we'll see you next time.
JeffFromHere.com.
No.
Yes.
First of all, school board would fit you better because you like to teach people.
I do.
You do like to bring the education.
I can't believe I got 15 votes.
You had 15 for the whole city.
Still.
Which, if you take it on a percentage basis, well, it's still well below 1%. But if you take 15 and you compare it to 30 votes, it would be 50% the vote. That would win anywhere.
There you go. I would have won.
Right. So all we got to do, what I think the trick to have you win the mayor of Muskego, we need to have less people vote that will vote